Hi there. Welcome to Vlogging in Bad Lighting with Maggie.
This is a theme song.
Hi there, and welcome to what I hope to be the first of many episodes of Totally Judgy. My name's Maggie, and this is the first vlog for me. I thought I would do sort of introductory video, talk about sort of why I'm here, what this vlog's about, and next week you'll be joined by my co-host and cohort, Laura. We like to think that Totally Judgy is a vlog about news, culture, entertainment, tech, geek stuff, and the somewhat strong opinions we have about them. Basically, break down every episode. Laura or I will be talking about things that interest us, something that's come up in the news, something that we've read on a movie blog or a tech blog, something that just popped into our head as we were walking down the street. In the spirit of starting things off, I thought I would sort of give an overview of what led me to vlogging. I've been on YouTube, I've been watching YouTube for probably about 4 years now. Got into it when I was a freshman in college, and I made a really stupid video that if you take the time to find it, it's out there. It involves Justin Timberlake and me looking really, really foolish. Then I sort of had a regular channel that I uploaded my video projects that I'd made in school. I've sort of always been into movies, and that'll probably be the focus of a lot of the stuff I talk about. But what I really started to get into was the sort of niggling idea of starting a vlog of my own. And that was because I started watching Tobuscus and Sexy Phil and Charlie So Cool Like and Naramon, and really any of the Five Awesome Guys stuff. I guess I realized that you don't need to have like farting babies or lol speak in order to express yourself on YouTube. It really is just a forum for people to talk. You might notice from my editing style there may be a lot of cuts. It's because I will say and a lot, and that's the way it's gonna go. I wouldn't be lying if I said that I wasn't a little nervous about this. It's probably pretty obvious from watching this. But I can't really do anything about that, and so if I end up getting 2 viewers, including my mother and myself, then that's really the way it's gonna go. Maybe even 3 with Laura if she decides to watch my videos too. Instead of worrying about my neuroses or boring you guys with how exactly I view myself, as will become readily apparent from my lack of self-confidence and my decision to wear very flattering horizontal stripes today, I guess I thought I would talk about something that really interests me to sort of start us off. That was going to be Anglophilia. I don't know if you guys all know what Anglophilia is. It's sort of a love of British culture. I started thinking about Anglophilia because of all the buzz that's been around the British film The King's Speech. There's Colin Firth and Helena Bonham Carter and Geoffrey Rush, and it's about sort of the rise of George VI and him getting over his stutter. It's a great film. Everybody should see it. It's a real heartwarming one and definitely has a really good shot for the Oscars. Anyway, but there's been articles I've read that talk about how American audiences just absolutely love films like this that have a little bit of history in them, especially about British culture. And it made me think about my own sort of fascination. Ever since I was pretty young, I've been interested in the UK. I went there when I was 9 for the first time, and I didn't really have any idea what was going on. But when I went there, it was astonishing to me. I was blown away. I was 9 years old, and I couldn't believe how old everything was. You know, I think it's, to paraphrase Eddie Izzard, it's where all the history lives. By the time I hit high school, I felt like the same kind of feeling that I think a music nerd has when you're onto the indie scene and you hear all these bands before they really become big. I felt like I was sort of getting into these TV shows that nobody else had ever heard of. And I remember specifically watching Little Britain for the first time. It was so cool because I felt so sophisticated, because there I was laughing at fat jokes, but they were British fat jokes, and that made them awesome. I've also always been curious. It seems like being a geek was cooler in the UK before it was in the US. I mean, now everybody's okay with nerds and geeks, and the tech world and tech explosion has sort of made it okay for everybody to read comic books and sci-fi and all of that. But I remember when I was watching Buffy way back, 7 years ago now, it was definitely not a cool thing, and I remember reading about people in the UK and how it was such a big hit there. And I mean, I wasn't watching Buffy when it was on the air in the US, but I always felt like there was a general acceptance that it was pretty fine to watch Buffy over there. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, if you're British, I don't know. I didn't have any British friends at that point. maybe it's the continued run of Doctor Who that made it okay for shows that had sort of a horror or sci-fi edge to be okay and more mainstream. I'm just so interested in this nation, which has a lot of the same background as us, obviously, because the founding of America came from the British colonies, but they're just slightly different. It's like looking in the mirror and seeing a slight distortion. I don't know, I've always thought that there was sort of a wry sense of perspective from the British that I've always appreciated. So anyway, thanks for listening to me if you have. And I would love to hear what you guys have. If you have any thoughts, leave a comment or video response. Are there any other cultures that you've always been interested in? It could be UK or otherwise. Anybody from Australia or from the UK and been really interested in America? Probably not, we're pretty lame. Alright, thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Bye.